I want to pass this around. I think it's always good to just establish some basic committee rules of engagement. I'll let you take a moment to look through these, but ultimately, this is the question for you all, is do you have anything that you want to add or subtract, or is anything unclear? So we're all on the same page. I'll walk through these really quickly. First and foremost, choose to be present. If people are on their phone the whole time, it's not going to be very productive. Avoid sidebar conversations where possible. Honesty is absolutely crucial. This is a working committee. Beware of the cordial hypocrisy where everybody says, yeah, it's all great, but it's really not all great. You gotta be able to say, here's what I'm having an issue with, and talk to each other about it. Have some basic respect. Everybody participate, but please know and dominate. Disagree without being disagreeable. And remember, the devil's advocate isn't the devil. Sometimes it's about just arguing through it and getting through it. Take time to learn about each other. Listen to understand, not to just respond. Allow for differences, critique ideas, and not the people at the table. And there are no bad questions. Stick to the agenda, use the parking lot. Sometimes if you just get off in the weeds, we can kind of sideline that and come back to it. And at the end of the day, assume goodwill. I've had conversations with every one of you all, and everyone has said the same thing. I want to participate because I want to make it better, and I want to be able to bring something to the table that will be helpful. So assume goodwill amongst your colleagues. Anybody want to add anything to this? Okay. Next part of our committee meeting is to just go around the room and provide each other with some introductions. Even if you already know each other, and I apologize, I'm sorry, Chief Purvis is sitting in today for Lizette, who's unavailable. So I'm sorry I didn't mention you at the beginning of the meeting, so thank you for joining us. Even if you know each other, assume that nobody knows much about you. And I would love to just kind of start around the room, and we'll start this way, and I'm putting you on the spot, Crystal. Tell us about who you are. Tell us what your background is. Tell us how long you've been part of Knox County, something about yourself personally. You know, help us get to know you and help understand why you're at the table here today.
I am Crystal Gibson. I am currently the employees representative on the Merit Council within the law enforcement realm. I'm a lame duck, so my term is up here in a couple of days, actually. I've held that position for almost 6 years. Spent a lot of time working with the Merit Council and making things better. That's why I want to be here, just to make sure that we continue to go in a positive direction. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the Merit Council. It's not about the administration. It's about the officers. And so I've been here almost 19 years at the Sheriff's Office. Straight out of college, I applied to 2 places, KPD and KCSO, and KCSO won me. They called first. I'm pretty boring. That's what else do you want to know?
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Rubin.
My name is Mike Rubel. I'm Chief Counsel of the Sheriff's Office. I've been with the Sheriff's Office for 30 years. September of 1990 is when I came. Before that, I worked in the Law Director's Office. When Sheriff Spangler put me was elected, he asked me to take over the HR part of it, which is why I'm here today. I've been their counsel for a long time, but the HR stuff has been added to me here 2 years ago. I agree 100% with Lieutenant Gibson. This is about the men and women, and what we're trying to do is make sure that we make this agency as friendly to them and protect them as much as we can. The entire Merit System Council, like I said, I've been through it a lot. I've represented a lot of cases at the Merit System Council. It's about protecting them against arbitrary conduct and against political conduct, and that is a very, very, very important function that the Merit System Council does. It provides professionalism. It protects people like Ms. Gibson and like Gabe from the sheriffs of old that you see on bad televisions, and that's not what we're about. What we're talking about here today, we don't have any argument at all with the appeals process. Our problem is the front end onboarding, and I'm not fussing.
We'll get into that.
I'm not fussing at them. That's what I wanted to say, because I think we've set up our rules, as you know, if you've read them. The rules were set up in 1970. So there's been a lot of changes in employment law since then that I'm familiar with. I'm sure Myers is familiar with as well, that need to be updated, and that's what I view this committee. You and I have talked, as you said, it's about efficiency, it's about making sure we protect these men and women that choose this difficult profession. As we know, this profession is, it's difficult to hire these days. I don't want to get too far into that, so we need to make it as efficient as we can so that we can get people on as quickly as we can. Then I'll be fine.
Yeah. Chief Purvis, tell us about yourself.
Yes, sir. I'm Chief William Purvis. I'm the Chief of Corrections with the Knox County Sheriff's Office, and I am also been affiliated with the HR department with the Sheriff's Office since the mid-90s, and I've worked closely with HR and with the merit system over the years. I'm filling in today for Lisetta Vilez, who is the HR Director for the Knox County Sheriff's Office.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Durrett.
I'm Courtney Durrett. I'm Commissioner for District 2 here in Knox County. This is my 7th week on commission, so I'm looking forward to being here and hearing about Merit Counsel and the Sheriff's Office and how they work together and work for our men and women of the service. And a little bit about me is I'm a former teacher, and I know what it's like being on the front lines per se, but in a different realm with children, with our youth, and so that is why I am so happy to be on this committee to hopefully be able to protect our children and even send them into this profession if need be. But that community service aspect is near and dear to my heart, so that's why I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for serving. Larson J., I'm the chairman of the Knox County Commission, and I'm excited to be part of this to really forge new relationships in a way that really has a singular focus, and that is the officers, and an opportunity for them to know that they have a fair work environment and one that has achievement and possibilities ahead of it. I've been on, I think, 9 or 10 ride-alongs since I've been a commissioner or a candidate to a commission, and I've heard different stories from every single group, but they've all said the same thing, which is they love their job, they love Knox County, they just want to make sure that there's a place for them going forward, and the men and women of the Sheriff's Department are really top-notch people that I really respect, and I look forward to seeing if we can just help them out a little bit. So, Commissioner Bueller?
I'm Richie Beeler. I am the commissioner for the Crystal Gibson District of Knox County, also known as District 8. I worked for Knox County for 31 years here in the courthouse and in the Register of Deeds office. Served on several boards and employee committees. Actually served on a committee with Chief Rubel many years ago, formulating personnel plans for the fee offices. I'm actually very grateful that the opportunity came open for me to serve on this committee. I got to know an awful lot of people, both in the Sheriff's Department over the years and as Merit Counsel as well. So I'm very happy to be able to contribute and learn at the same time.
Ms. Taylor?
I'm Paula Taylor. I've been with the Merit Counsel since 1997, a little over 23 years. There are 4 positions in our office, and I have worked every single one of those. I started as the receptionist. I've done some of the background work. I've been the office manager that handled a lot of different duties, including the physicals and psychologicals. And when the previous director retired after about 15 years, I took that position about 7 years ago.
Ms. Oster?
I'm Gina Oster. I sit on the Merit Council, and one of the main reasons that I wanted to be on this committee when the position came open was I have a real love and heart for my police officers. And about 5 years ago, I think that's how Crystal and I met, that I started a group called Cookie Crusaders, and we brought cookies, homemade cookies every month to the police department and the sheriff's department. Not a big thing, but it was showing our officers that we care about them and want to support them. So that's the reason that I sit on this committee, and I've been here since I was 3. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but it's been a long time. And I have 3 grown sons and the most amazing grandchild ever. So we could talk about her forever, but we won't. So that was it.
Thank you, Mr. Mullinax.
I'm Gabe Mullinax.
You're probably the black button is the mute button.
I'm Gabe Mullinax. Here we go. Sorry about that. It's the tie. I'm Gabe Mullinax, Lieutenant with the Sheriff's Office. I've been with the Sheriff's Office for almost 23 and a half years. I enjoyed your cookies immensely over the years.
Pretty good.
Yeah, and I've worked, if I could pull off getting a K-9 and maybe a helicopter, you know, be the pilot thing, I think I've pulled off everything in the Sheriff's Office since I've been here. So, but what was interesting to me is, I've obviously had conversations about forming this committee, but I went around and I asked people, nobody in the Sheriff's Office, I won't say nobody. The people that I spoke to, the majority of the people had no idea what the Merit Council does for them. So, that was kind of for me, thinking, you know, you've been here 23 years, why haven't you fixed that yet? You know, I'm one of those guys, so. And then knowing Crystal for as long as I've, you know, known Crystal and how hard she's worked on this, I'm super excited to get whatever we have to get ironed out, squashed, fixed, aligned, however you wanna mention that, so these guys will know, guys and gals, will know what they do for us and what they can't do for us. So, Mr. Brooks?
My name's Scott Rolls. If Cookie Crusaders had been around in 1995, I'd still be a police officer. I started, oh man, that's so sweet. Born and raised in Memphis, became a police officer there. I was on the SWAT team and a field training officer. Left there to become a deputy director with the Department of Homeland Security. And now I'm CEO of a partially classified program for the government. And fortunately, like Crystal here, pursued master's. I think you're getting your doctorate, but my master's is in leadership and public service. And so I'm honored to have the opportunity to sit around you folks. Like you, my central focus is those deputies out there getting the streets every day. I understand what they're going through, as most of you do. And so I just want to be a voice of reason to us. If I can contribute something, that's fantastic. But I just want you to know how much we as a community appreciate everything that you're doing. That's it. I do have two daughters. One works for the Sheriff's Department in Blount County, so I have to make disclosure there. I didn't wear my Blount County Sheriff's Office.
Thank you very much. I appreciate everybody taking a little minute to talk about themselves. As I may be off a little bit in my math, but as I went around and everyone went around, there's